What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Welcome back. So today I got to make a little run to Fayetteville. I don't have to. It's for fun. Going to take y'all somewhere a little bit different, a little bit longer ride today. Of course, I'll edit this down so it's not such a long video. But we got to ride down to Fayetteville. We are going to a cigar shop. It's called Anstead. It's out of Fayetteville. Really, really nice shop. Been shopping with them for years. I wanted to pick up a few more cigars and I figured I'd take y'all along for the ride. So why don't we get going? I just got done getting gas. So we are all topped up. We're going to reset our trip meter. We're going to fire this thing up and let's get rolling. All right, get out here. We're gonna take back roads down to Fayetteville. Don't want to get run over by this dump truck. All right, and away we go. It's gonna probably take about, I don't know, 35 minutes, maybe 40 minutes. I don't know. I never really time it. I just drive. I'm on the motorcycle. I'm not really worried about time. So how's everybody doing? Oh, it's good to hear. It's good to hear. Oh, I'm sorry. Well, I hope things get better for you. All right, now that I've talked to everybody, how's things going for me right now? Well, you can see on the video, bright blue sky, nice and sunny. We're at a nice, probably mid 70s degree today. That's Fahrenheit. So yeah, I'm doing good. Doing real good. I know I never really discussed cigars up to this point, but I am a bit of a cigar guy. I used to smoke cigarettes and ew, gross. But after I got away from cigarettes, I still enjoy smoking cigars. I don't smoke them often. I might smoke one or two in a month, so not super often, but I'm a little bit of a cigar collector. I've got a humidor at the house that it claims to hold 600. I just don't think you can fit 600 in there. I really don't. At any given time, I have about 120 to 150 in it on average, and I have a thing called the Cigar Oasis. It's a humidifier, basically, is what it is. But it's all electronic. You set the humidity you want, and you fill it up with water, and it just sits there and it blows moist air up into the humidor. And it's Wi-Fi enabled, so I can check it from my phone and stuff. Really, really neat product. But I have it in my home bar. It sits over in the corner and just holds cigars. That's all it does. So if I haven't said it before, I grew up on the outskirts of Fayetteville. Fayetteville was my stomping grounds. If I was going to do anything fun, Fayetteville was one of the places I went to. Other areas around Fayetteville, there's places like Hope Mills and Grays Creek. I used to frequent those places. There's places that we used to call Skeeter Creek. But I spent a lot of time on Ramsey Street and Bragg Boulevard. A little bit of time on Murchison Road, but Murchison Road used to be a place, and I think it still is. You don't go there after dark unless you live there. And honestly, used to downtown Fayetteville, you didn't go there after dark either. But they revitalized downtown. Downtown now is a relatively thriving area for business. It has a little bit of a nightlife. I wouldn't say it's anything crazy, but it has a little bit of a nightlife. It can't get too crazy because they have apartments and stuff down there, so people don't want to hear people being stupid all night long. So I think most everything closes a little bit early. I don't know that they have anything that stays open like bars or clubs down there. Apparently I've forgotten how to ride my motorcycle. I thought it was in neutral. It was not. And I'm sure you probably saw the jump on the video. I've been riding motorcycles a long time. I still accidentally dump the clutch with it in gear, cause it to stall. Everybody rides a motorcycle does it at some point in time. With riding a motorcycle, you just get, it becomes something you don't think about doing. You don't think about shifting gears. You don't think about the throttle or the clutch. It's just comes natural, and you're not really thinking about it. So occasionally, you forget to bump it up neutral if you're going to let out on the clutch. You're sitting there in the light, go to let out. It gives you a little jerk, stalls the engine. It happens. So Ramsey Street has grown a whole lot since I was younger. I think that's true for a lot of places, but of course Ramsey Street being one of my, so to speak, stomping grounds growing up, changed a lot. Like, this Sheets right here used to be just an empty lot. It was just a big vacant lot out here. Actually, there might have been a small building there that wasn't being used. But back behind it, there's a bowling alley. When I was in high school, I was actually on a bowling team. And I used to go to that Northview Lanes. And right here at this intersection, it used to be a little small road that wind down in there. And there was a dirt mound there. A friend of mine got his Jeep stuck on one time. This area to our right here was just a giant, empty, vacant lot. And I used to bring a four-wheeler and three-wheeler out here, and I'd ride around in that vacant lot. Whoever owned it, they didn't care. And so we get out there, we just cut the fool. Well, now all that's gone. You know, this oil change place, this car wash, none of this was here when I was younger. And I know I'm probably sounding like an old boomer, which I am a Gen Xer. So I'm not a boomer, but I am older. And it sounds a little old to say, oh, I remember whenever all this stuff wasn't here, but I mean, it's true. I remember when this stuff wasn't here. And I don't mind progress and things being built. I don't mind it at all. I'm not one of those people that go, oh, I wish it was like it was when I was younger. No, I like new things. I like technology. I like new businesses. All of that. I like trying new things. That Chipotle wasn't there. This Pizza Hut, I don't think it was there. A lot of stuff down here that wasn't here whenever I was younger. Now, some of these places were other businesses back in the day. I don't remember what they were nowadays. If you want me to tell you how old I really am, I remember whenever they built the first Walmart in Fayetteville. If that tells you anything. Now, I was young. Granted, I was very young when they built the first Walmart. But I remember the first one they built was not this one that I just passed by. It was one over on Skybow Road. And I remember me and my mom driving by while they were building. And they had one of those big Russian helicopters. And they were using those to put the air conditioning units on the roof. And I just thought it was the neatest thing ever. And my mom actually stopped, and we sat there and watched the helicopter fly around and put the air conditioning units on the roof for a little while. I just thought it was so cool. And that's the reason I remember the first one being built. It was because of that experience. And at that time, they were building Walmart, not Super Walmart. Because all the Walmarts nowadays, they're Super Walmarts. Because I remember whenever they went from Walmart to Super Walmarts, and it was a lot bigger Walmart. That's whenever they added things like the grocery section and stuff like that. Now, the Walmart you know today is what was known as Super Walmart. Now it's just Walmart. They did away with the super part of it because they're all built the same now. Back in the day, Walmart was a lot smaller than what it is now. But before Walmart was in Fayetteville, the number one place that we shopped as far as department store was Rose's. And Rose's is still around, but oof, they are rough. They're rough. But whenever I used to go out shopping with my aunt or my mom, we always went to Rose's. And there was one not too far from where we lived. And then Walmart took over, of course. And we go to the mall occasionally. When I was a teenager, I used to go be a dumb teenager, hang out at the mall, like I think all dumb teenagers did. Nowadays, I could care less about going to the mall. Alright, so we've been down Ramsey Street. We're getting ready to take a ride on Country Club. Country Club's going to take us back around towards where Anstead is. And I was talking about earlier with the intersection where all the road names changes. This is another, we'll call it unique road. Because this road changes names 3 times. Right here is Country Club. We'll go up a little bit further and it turns into Pamela. You go up a little bit further, it turns into Skyboat. All the same road. But yeah, it has 3 different names. And that's, with the way they change road names in Fayetteville, I understand whenever people move here from with the military, it's easy for them to get turned around and confused. Because one minute they're on Skyboat and they go, okay, this is the road I need to be on. Next thing you know, they're on Pamela. Or not, Pamela. And they're like, wait, what happened to Skyboat? So, it can be very confusing to people. Ooh, that SUV up there, I do believe is leaking coolant because I can smell it, and for a minute I can feel it spraying on my face. And boy, let me tell you, people in Fayetteville drive horrible. People call Fayetteville Vietnam, which I did growing up too, and for good reason, honestly, because there's a lot of how do I put it, there's a lot of tension in Fayetteville, and some of it comes from different factions of people in Fayetteville. And I'm not talking about a racial thing. I don't want to imply I'm talking about a racial thing. It's primarily the military and then the citizens of Fayetteville. That's the number one tension. Because you get a lot of young GIs come into Fayetteville and they're wearing their uniform with a lot of pride, which they should. Problem is, sometimes instead of wearing it with pride, they wear it with arrogance, and they think they're better than everybody else. And that causes people to really dislike military being in Fayetteville sometimes, and they can hold a little bit of a grudge towards them. And you get into like places like strip clubs or just regular bars and stuff like that, and that tension can build up, and it's not uncommon for it to blow up. Between that and the way a lot of people drive in Fayetteville, it's like a freaking war zone sometimes. And honestly, riding a motorcycle through Fayetteville, you got to watch your P's and Q's. Alright, we are crossing Murchison Road, commonly known as the Merc. The Merc, over the years, has been very well known for crimes and drugs in certain areas. And that's the road I mentioned earlier. You kind of don't go down there after dark unless you live down there and you've been living down there. I've gone down the Merc many times late at night and I've never had an issue. But I was only driving through. I don't normally stop there, get gas or anything like that. I'm normally just driving through if I do go through there. So I can't say that I've ever been scared of the Merc, so to speak. But, I mean, some people say it's a pretty rough area. I've never really seen it, to be honest with you. I'm sure if there's anybody that watches this video from the area, they can probably tell you some war stories of the Merc. let's see. Let's see if the road name, what the road name is here. I can't remember what it's here. Okay, see, we're Country Club. We are currently now on Pamela Lee. And if you've been watching, you know I haven't turned anywhere. You know there's been no significant change in the road. So yeah, now we're on Pamela Lee. We're going to go up a little bit further and it's going to turn into Skybo. And if you ever look up the name, or if you hear it on GPS, it's going to be pronounced Skibo because, well, that's how it's spelled. But if you're from Fayetteville, you know it's called Skybo, not Skibo. And if you are new to Fayetteville and you walk up to somebody that grew up here and you call it Skibo, we're going to pick on you. We're not going to dislike you for it, but we are going to pick on you because it's Skybo. And just so you know, GPS is wrong. GPS is just wrong. It's funny because people get into little arguments back and forth about whether it's Skibo or Skybo. It's all in good fun for the most part. I don't know of anybody that grew up here that's actually going to get upset with you for calling it Skibo. But the first thing we're going to say, if you say, hey, I'm looking for Skibo Road, we're going to go, Fayetteville don't have a Skibo Road. That's the first thing we're going to say to you. Alright, we're coming up in the section now where it's about to turn into Skybo. So there's a dealership right here on the left. Whenever I was in my mechanic days, I spent a little over 7 years working at this dealership on the left. It's now called Liberty Ford, and I'm sure they changed it because Fort Bragg got changed to Liberty. Fort Liberty, I mean. Of course, now Fort Bragg is going back to Fort Bragg, so they kind of changed the name for nothing. But back when I was working there, it's called Crown Ford. And honestly, I think Liberty Ford's a little bit of a dumb name, but that's my 2 cents. This road is called Skybo. And the Walmart on the right here, that is the Walmart I was referring to. That was the first Walmart in Fayetteville. Alright, now we're going to take a little bit of a left turn. Ready to get on McPherson Church Road. Some people call it McPherson Church. It's a little bit of both. If you can see the sign up there just to the left, you know, of course the PH is the F, and the Urson part should be person, right? So McPherson Church. Like some people say McPherson. I don't. Oh, another quick fun fact. You probably can't see it on the video. To the left over there, there's a Waffle House. If you're able to see to the right, there's another Waffle House. Literally, there's Waffle Houses diagonal across the intersection from each other. Another little fun fact, the one to the right, my uncle built. He used to work on places like Taco Bell's and Waffle House, stuff like that. I used to build them, actually. And yeah, I actually helped my uncle build the Waffle House on the right. The one on the left was here first. And we thought they were building a new one on the right, and then we were going to close the one on the left. Oh no, they kept both. There's a cycle gear to the left over there. I might run by there while I'm down here. We are coming up to Anstead here in just a moment. It's going to be on our left over here. It's a big red barn. It literally looks like a big red barn. But classier, I guess you could say. And here we are, like I said, big red barn. As I pull in, you can look straight ahead. You can see the big tiki looking hut thing. That is their outside lounge area. We're going to park up right here. They even painted their poles with the Monte Cristo logo. Really, really cool place. Really, really cool place. I like it here. Alright guys, well I'm going to go in and see if they will let me record. And if they will, we'll get fired up back in there. If for some reason they don't, I'll see you back out here in a few minutes. Alright guys, I got the green light to be able to record in here. So welcome to the humidor. Yeah, it's awesome. Another little small section back here in the back. They said as long as I'm posting something that's positive, not derogatory, but I can't say anything bad about this place, not gonna lie. And we're just gonna do a quick walk around in here, and then I'll cut this off and I'll pick my cigars, and then we'll go to the lounge section. Actually, you can see through the windows right there. Right over there is the downstairs part of the lounge. Okay, this is upstairs, lounge area. See, there's a bar right back here, fully stocked. Get drinks, a lot of seating up here. You see the TV down there. Now I'm gonna walk downstairs. This is the downstairs lounge area. If you want to be inside, big comfy couches, some nice little tables to the left. You got storage lockers for members to be able to put cigars in. This is walking out towards the back in the outside area. Of course, there's more lounge area back here with another big couch over there. Got some bathrooms back here in the back, and then it's like a little private conference smoking area, I guess. Never been in there before. Got chests right here to the right. Empty chests. There you go. And now we're gonna walk outside. All right, guys. Right here at the little patio area. As you can see, there's the motorcycle. And that very nice, comfortable chairs out here. So whenever I was inside, you saw I filmed around a little bit in there, but wasn't really talking. I don't want to disturb people, because this is meant to be very relaxing. Just hang out and chill. Alright guys, well I'm done smoking, so I think it's about time for us to roll out. We'll get back on the motorcycle, and we are going to get out of here. Okay guys, I'm gonna voice over one more time because I wanted y'all to see the front part of here. We're going back to the lounge right now, obviously the same way we went out to the outside. Showing you back around one more time, but walking out front, this is as you're exiting the lounge, and this is the front desk. They have a lot of accessories in there, t-shirts, ashtrays, cutters, pipes, whatever you could possibly want. But yeah, I just wanted y'all to have a chance to see the front as I was going back out. Alright guys, alright, I gotta change out the battery in this camera, and we'll be ready to go, so we'll get rolling in just a minute. Alright, we're in the what's known as the historic Haymont area, or Haymount. Depends on how you say it. This is not classified as the, so to speak, downtown area. They do have a theater down here. And I don't mean like movie theater, I mean like real theater, like live actors, the whole 9 yards. It's been here for a long time, and I assume it's still open. It looks like it is. It's right here on the right. It's Cape Fear Regional Theater, established in 1962. It appears it is still open. Well, I'll lots of really nice houses down here, but I know the vast majority of them have been converted to businesses. Getting ready to cross over Martin Luther King Jr. Highway. I think every major town has a Martin Luther King Jr. Highway. Fayetteville's no exception. There is some Civil War stuff down this way. There's Civil War trails. As well, I think there's a museum down here, which I have never been to. Grew up down here, never went to it. You can see these houses on the right. Really, really nice houses. Really, really nice. But from my understanding, they are insanely expensive if you were to buy one. And as you can see, a lot of them have been turned into businesses. There's some other houses in the area that are really nice that you don't really notice them when you're just riding through. But if you're a passenger and you really have an opportunity to look around, you'll see some very interesting houses. Alright, you see straight ahead is the downtown area. Right there on the left is the Airborne Museum. Can't see much through trees. Parking lot's on the other side of it over there. Yeah, you might want to wait. To the left over here is the baseball stadium for the Woodpeckers, I believe it is. Yeah, Fayetteville Woodpeckers. I went to one of their games one time. It was all right. I'm not a big baseball guy. But once a year they do a 9/11 memorial walk. I did it one year where you walk the same amount of steps that the first responders did going into the World Trade Centers. I did it one year. It was really cool. A huge turnout. It was very hot, but a lot of fun. Historic churches down here, and then the road to the main downtown part is brick. So this area used to, you didn't come down here at night. That was a big no-no. You would see hookers in the alleyways getting ready for work, drug dealers hanging out in the area. But as you can see, it's a very nice downtown area now. They got it nice and cleaned up. It used to have a big arcade down here, huge arcade. It was great. I guess they just couldn't quite keep up, so they ended up closing it. But they had a mini bowling alley and a 2-story arcade with a bar upstairs. It used to be in this building on the left, the Capitol building. That's where it used to be. It was absolutely awesome. And then you come down, and here's the market house straight ahead of us. This is where the big traffic circle is in Fayetteville. And currently they got one lane closed off. It's actually supposed to be 2 lanes that goes around the market house. Back after the George Floyd incident, George Floyd, I don't know if I can speak right today. I don't know who did it, but they came in and they painted Black Lives Matters and end racism around the base of the market house. Can't really see it for the barriers. You might catch a glimpse of it on camera. And there used to be a nightclub out here in this little section right here we're riding through. And I remember coming through here late one night when I shouldn't have been. And the people had spilled out of the club into the road, and you couldn't even drive through. And like, they wouldn't move and let you through. They would just be out in the middle of the road partying. And at that time, nobody did anything about it. But the town of Fayetteville decided to finally get down there and do something with the downtown area. And they did clean it up and make it pretty nice. The only downside to that is the areas surrounding this downtown area are still, can be a little bit rough. So it's almost like as long as you're in that immediate downtown area by the market house, you're good. But if you come outside of that area, there's a lot of homeless, there's a lot of criminals, there's a lot of drugs. It's just not necessarily a great area out here. Back, you can see on the left, I know at least some of those people are homeless, if not all of them. And it looks like they might have changed it, but at one point in time, the ABC store here, real fast, if you don't know what an ABC store is, that is our government-controlled or our state-controlled liquor store, because all of our hard liquor has to be sold in a state-controlled building. Anyway, the ABC store over here on this road was the only one that had bars on the windows because the crime was so bad out here. So, you know, I'm just sitting there, I'm going, good job revitalizing downtown Fayetteville. Can you kind of fix the rest of the area while you're here? All right, so that was going through the downtown area. Obviously, it was pretty short. There's not much to it. So another fun fact. The area now known as Eastover used to be called Fleet Hill. And if I'm not mistaken, don't quote me on it, it was because we're in the Sand Hills area and it had sand fleas. The building to the right is the Eastover Community Building. And for New Year's, they started doing the flea drop. I'm not kidding. They have a sculpture thing of an actual flea, and they drop it for New Year's. I assume they still do it. I don't know. I moved away before they really started doing that much, so I've never been to the flea drop. But yeah, they do the flea drop because it used to be called Flea Hill, and not many people know that other than most of your old timers that grew up here. Oh, I know it. Does that make me an old timer that grew up here? I guess it does. I don't like to classify myself as an old timer, but in a lot of ways, I believe I am. I will say, especially for my gaming videos, looking at the demographics of the people that watch my gaming videos, pretty much everybody that watches my videos is anywhere from about 10 to 20 years younger than me. Just putting it out there. Which is not a bad thing. I appreciate all my viewers, no matter their age. Well guys, I'm probably going to edit it and put it in the beginning of the video, but I'm going to say it here at the end too. Please like, dislike, subscribe, comment, say good things, say bad things. I really don't care. I really would like to see some engagement on my videos. I like getting comments on my videos. I get some on my gaming videos, and I get a couple here on my Motovlogs. I know Ian and Sydney are good for commenting, and I do appreciate any comments I get. But the biggest thing is I like hearing what y'all have to say. Good stuff, bad stuff. I'm not picky. But I'm about to roll up here at the house in just a moment. I appreciate all of y'all riding along with me. It was a fun day. I enjoyed my cigar smoking. And if all goes well, we'll get another one of these uploaded sooner than later. And until then, keep both wheels down, and we'll see you in the next one. Have a good one.